So welcome. So nice to have Sunday night restorative yoga again. I think part of me thought, oh, we weren't doing Zoom anymore, but with COVID flaring and it being really hot, it's still, I guess, a thing that we need. So I'm glad to see all of you here today and glad for your attention. So find a comfortable seat and bring your hands palms facing down onto your knees or your thighs. Sit up tall. If you're in a little bit of a cooler place or you don't have your AC is up or something like that, feel free to cover. So cover yourself so that you're not sensing any draft. And then close your eyes. Either close them all the way or just cast your gaze down at the tip of your nose. Take a breath in through the nose. Feel for where you are. Breathe out through the nose or the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out slowly. So feel for just what kind of mood you're in, what your body is feeling like today, where your heart is, where your energy is. And just tap into that. It's always different. Every day it's different. Every class it's different. And for those of you a little rusty or maybe who've never done or not done much restorative, just remembering that it's not a practice of stretch. In restorative yoga, we quiet the sounds, we dim all the stimuli, and we look to open the body. We look to cultivate a very deep level of relaxation in order to counter living in the fast lane. There are many ways to do this: meditation, playing music, a walk in the woods. Restorative yoga is just one of them. But we also offer a sense of community to practice together. As you breathe in without controlling what you're doing, sense it in kind of encompassing spaciousness in the chest. And with each exhale, just push the clouds of thought away. Any thoughts that kind of coming into your mind right now, rather than entangle or engage with them in any way, feel for the exhale, just kind of ushering them further away from your consciousness. They will be there. We'll just move them a little kind of off to the side. One more breath. As you breathe out, just feeling for a release of the muscles, starting with the top of the head, the jaw, the shoulders. And then staying here with your eyes closed, I want to open with a poem by Mary Oliver. This is from her book, Thirst. And I can appreciate her sense of describing being present to what is. So this poem is called Messenger. My work is loving the world. Here, the sunflowers, there, the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. Here, the quickening yeast, here, the blue plums, here, a clam deep in the speckled sand. Are my boots old? Is my coat torn? Am I no longer young, still not half perfect? Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work. Which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished by the phoebe, the delphinium, the sheep in the pasture, and the pasture, which is mostly rejoicing since all the ingredients are here, which is gratitude, to be given a mind and a heart, these body clothes, a mouth with which to give shouts of joy to the moth and the wren, to the sleepy dug-up clam, telling them all over and over how it is that we live forever. Blink open your eyes, come out of that posture. If you're sitting on something, go ahead and move it out of the way. Our first posture will be a supported fish. So we'll take the bolster a little off to the side and bring your 2 blocks up to the top of your mat. So they're going to be in like the shape of a T. So the lower one will be kind of on the lower setting, and then the higher one more horizontally. We'll bring ourselves into a heart opener. So if you have issues with your low back, keep these blankets handy. You may even use the bolster. So let me just show you. The first block will be going right in between the shoulder blades. So you want it along this bone. You don't want it too high. Also, it's not here on the small of the back or the arch of the back. It's right in between the shoulder blades, like so. Then the top block goes right above the hairline, either like so, oops, steady, or you might have it even a little bit higher, but you don't want to have a hyperextended neck. So I don't want you to go like so. I don't want it lower. I want it higher or equivalent. Once you have yourself set up, bring the arms out to the side and just feel for if there's any strain. Your knees are bent. If your low back is healthy and feeling great, you can just keep your knees like so, or touch the knees, feet go up to the side. If you have any issues with your lower back or it just feels like a strain, the bolster or the blankets go under the knees, with the caveat that you have something for your heels to rest on. So such a simple pose, but restorative always takes a lot of cueing just to get it right. So don't want your heels dangling. I want them to touch something. Your low back should feel a little bit better with support under the knees, and the arms go out to the side. If possible, rest the hands on the pinky finger side of your hand. That allows a little softening of the muscle and allows the thumb to drop in. Now cover yourself. If you have a little something to use, or if you feel a chill. And then we'll hold this pose for about 7 minutes. So this posture opens the chest and the heart. We're using just the weight of our own body to lift up the chest cavity. So this is, as I said, not a stretch, but an opening, and is a great counter pose to the forward folding kind of posture that many of us have during the daytime. It's a really nice release for any neck tension. So it opens the lungs so that if you have any kind of congestion, that's also a benefit to do this posture. So I'm going to stop talking now. Sink into the space. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. And then very carefully roll a bit off the blocks to the left, and then remove the blocks from under your head and your spine, and then come back onto a flat back. You can leave your legs just where they are. So feel into sensations that you may be experiencing both with a lifted chest and now after you've lifted the chest. And then taking your blanket or bolster out from underneath your knees, if you did have that. Our next posture will be a side posture. So come back up to a seated position. The block will go up here on its lower, say mid height, and the bolster will go right here in the middle. For the blanket, we'll have just one, although you can have 2. We always have 2 because we're always telling you to grab your extra blanket. So I would take the blanket and keep it as a rectangle and keep it on the lower side here. So starting on the right hip, we're going to take this bolster and set it here on the bottom of the rib cage. So if you're a little smaller, that may not take a whole lot. If you're taller, you may have a little bit different appearance, but we'll lie here on the right side. My arm goes down here, and then the block will be right above my ear. Now that's too low for me, so if you have a wonky neck like I do, higher. But make sure that it's just above the ear and it's nice and stable. Your right arm can stay extended, or you can make a 90-degree angle like so. And then we're kind of keeping our legs separate. While we do that, this is this is how I like to practice, but I've instructed you with the blanket, which just softens some of the bone on bone and can be a little bit yummier. So we'll bring our arm up at that angle, and if you like, you can take the left arm up too. See if you can let it touch something. So the fingertips might just touch the edge of the block, or you can lay the actual arm on your left side of the head just to kind of have something to ground with the arm and hand as well. And then here we're opening the side body. Hold this one for about 5 minutes. So close your eyes. You don't need that left arm up. If you feel better having it down, just place it where it's comfortable. And really focus on where this pose is perfect for you. Trust the support that's under you. The props are there, so you don't have to do all the work. You're literally reteaching your nervous system how to respond to stress, chronic stress. By removing much stimuli and effort of the muscles, let your body relax, let yourself tap into the rest response, rest and digest, or rest and relaxation. We've talked many times about that in these classes, that the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that heals us. And we're not inventing it, but we're cultivating a deeper appreciation and a deeper immersion in the parasympathetic body. about 2 more cycles of breath here, bringing your left arm down if you went for that option. And then with as few movements as possible, I just want you to lift yourself up and go onto your left side. So the easiest way is probably to just turn to the left side, bringing that folded blanket with you, taking the bolster right along the left ribs and adjusting however you need to. Again, with the right arm now overhead, if the fingers can touch either the yoga mat, the block, top of the head, the floor, something like that. And if that's comfortable for you. So finding that just right setup here, making sure that you don't feel a little chill. If you do, just having a shirt or a blanket to cover yourself. You certainly cannot relax the physical body if you're feeling uncomfortable or a little cool. So we need to be very comfortable. We need to be warm and feel a sense of being held in order to go deeper. Notice the sensations and anything that comes up that is a little different or is the same on this side. In this way, we're a witness to our own experience. So we're improving our self-awareness, improving our ability to know our own body and understand physical symptoms. Know that you have to do nothing at all. Take one more breath here in this pose, and then draw your right arm down if you have that option. Slowly make your way up off of the bolster and the block, and set the block up to the very top of the mat. Bolster a little off to the side. The next posture, we'll need 2 blankets in our block. It'll be on our belly. This will be a supported sphinx. So I have my rectangle shaped blanket here. Now, this will go just under the hips. Especially if you tend to have a tender low back, you might even want this a bit higher, like so. But at least to start, the hip bones go right here. It helps also to keep the feet apart if you have issues with your low back. And you can either use the second blanket to pad your forearms, or you could just have the arms be on the mat. So mine tend to get a little sore if I just have my elbows on the mat. So here we bring our forearms just underneath the shoulders, the elbows rather, just under the shoulders. The hands go flat with the fingers spread. And then just bring your forehead down like so onto a block. That's too low for me. So just find what works for you, and you're setting the block just at the round or the center between your eyebrows. Also an energy site or source. This is our 6th chakra, Ajna chakra. So we're making sure we have a steady base here with the block. Let the feet go apart. It's a significant back bend, so if this is too much, bring the arms down like so, and just rest your head on the folded arms. Or alternatively, if you don't want the head onto the block, you can just hang the head. That's a little bit less restful. So we'll just hold this pose for about 5 minutes. If you can get heavy in the pelvis and release through the jaw. Letting the block hold you up. Notice what happens when you have silence. Notice how that can be a little more challenging than other kinds of activities that we might find ourselves in. Notice if you can tap into what is in that silence. When we get quiet, quiet in the mind, quiet in the body, what do we hear? Take one more breath and then release yourself from having the head down on the block. Take the block away and just rest yourself down completely. And then the back bend. And then the hands can either go under your forehead or they can go down by your side, whatever's more comfortable. How do you feel in the back muscles, in the belly, in that place between the shoulder blades? So there can be more space there. Our next posture is a supported half frog. So some of you may have tender backs, so I want to give some options. So you can just kind of sit up and just see what I do. So my bolster will be kind of vertically here at the top of the mat. And if you have any issues with your lower back, we'll do a supported child's pose instead. So, but how this will work is we'll bring ourselves down, again, about from the hip bones, straight down. I am short enough that I can fit. You may not fit, so you bring a block down so that you can rest your forehead down. The arms come down to the side. Oops. And then you bend your left knee. Excuse me, so my pelvis actually is still touching the floor. So I have lots of room. So you're going to bend this left knee. The knee is at a 90-degree angle. And if you can, keep it out like so. So that's at a 90-degree angle. And then bringing yourself down, you'll take the right temple and side of the head and just rest it here. So if this squinches at all in the left sciatic area or the low back, then I don't want you to do this one. Supported child's pose would be knees apart, bolster like so, or even elevated, and then take the pose this way. So find what version will work for you. If half frog is comfortable, it's a really nice opening in the hip area. Puts a little pressure on the abdominal organs. And again, if you have a little something to cover yourself with, that might feel nice too. And we'll hold this about 6 minutes. Take one more breath here in this posture. And then just straightening out the left leg, turn yourself over onto the other side, bend the right knee, lifting the head and resting on the left side of the temple and scalp. Making any adjustments that need to occur. Maybe sensing into the rounding of the lumbar spine, reversing of that curve and letting a little decompression happen in the low back. If you're in child's pose, then just turn to the other side. Another breath here. With your knee bent on the right side, and then straighten out both legs. Remove your bolster from underneath you and go onto your belly. Again, with arms to the side or just supporting under your forehead for just a few breaths now. And just roll onto your backs for our last posture. If you can see the way I have my spot prop set up, I have a bolster supported with 2 blocks. Can even go a little higher if you like. This is called Stonehenge. Kind of love. I have my other blanket here just to put something underneath my head. If you like, you can do 1 fold, which just supports the little area at the base of your neck. Come onto your back. If you don't like this one, feel free to modify. It's a little bit lower height with your legs, but this way the calves are supported. My head goes right here with just not, this fold does not lift up my head like so. You still want the chin to be down. You just want to feel a little tiny kind of softness with the rolled blanket under the bone in your neck. You don't want to cause your head to go up like so. And then the other blanket, if you like, you can cover yourself fully, or you can cover your feet and lower body. Always nice to just kind of have that all just warm and delicious. Your arms can be out to the side, or as we end, if you like, you can bring your hands onto your belly. If you have an eye pillow or anything else that would help to just shut out any additional light, feel free to bring that onto your forehead or over your eyes now. Just feel for the breath as it moves through you. Let your hands slightly rise with the belly and fall with the exhale. Make sure that you are having all the comfort that you can devise. Take one more breath here in this last posture. And then slowly, however you've set your Shavasana up or your Stonehenge up, you can use your feet to push things away to the bottom of the mat. So take your time, roll onto one side or the other. And then come back up to a seated position. We'll close the class together. Staying as quiet as we can for just a few more moments. Backs of the hands now, touching the knees with letting the index and the thumbs touch. Eyes can still be soft or closed. All I ask is that you feel. Feel where your breath is moving, feel where you're open. Feel what your practice had for you today. And then I'll end with just a bit of a 4-line meditation that I'll say to you, and then I want you to repeat silently 3 times. So we'll do first just I will say it, and then you'll say it silently, and I'll say it 3 more times. Feel into the space that you've created. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May my mind be at ease. Now silently together. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be safe. May your mind be at ease. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be safe. May your mind be at ease. Last one. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be safe. May your mind be at ease. Bring the hands together, letting the fingers just press lightly against the fingertips, the wrists touch, a little space between the hands. Bow your head silently to your own heart. Some gratitude for your own ability to carve out time for your practice, for choosing yoga, for choosing self-care. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you always for coming and for turning up. Thank you for supporting my class and for allowing yoga with Zoom to continue to thrive. Namaste.